Talk about your journeyman all the way to the Senior Bowl. What has been this experience like? I mean, this has got to be a surreal moment the last couple of days.
No, it's been truly incredible. I think obviously watching the Senior Bowl growing up on TV and playing at an FCS school where a lot of guys who come from those backgrounds don't necessarily make it to these circles that frequently, and having the opportunity to play at Iowa State last year to help get me closer to rooms like this and opportunities like this, and now actually being here, I think is truly a dream come true to be able to compete against some of the best in the country.
Now we have something in common, actually.
Is that right?
My offensive coordinator was Bob Sarace.
Is that right? Okay, all right.
So, I was a wide receiver for him.
Okay.
So I know, he's a great coach, man.
Man, great guy, great coach.
He coached at Western. I played at Western, Connecticut.
Yep.
He changed the whole offense around after I left.
Okay.
And exploded, ended up doing great things. But talk about Coach Sarace and what he's meant for your career.
Man, I think Coach Sarace has truly put me on the trajectory I am at today. He's the one who initially invested in me coming out of high school and identified the potential that I had. Granted, I was extremely raw coming out of high school, but having the opportunity to go to Princeton and play within his system and his standards, I think ultimately identified that this is something that I want to pursue professionally until I can't anymore, and play at the highest of levels. And granted, Princeton has had some very top-end NFL players in the league, and that was an identity that I knew I wanted to chase and follow. And credit to Coach Sarace for pushing me and leading me in that way.
It's cool because I interviewed Yoshima.
Yes, exactly,
and
exactly.
It was cool to talk about our experience as well, but
right.
Just talk about I know you were awarded the Truman Scholarship.
Yes, sir.
And talk about that. You're not only doing it on the field but off the field.
Yeah, the Truman Scholarship duly was, I think, also a dream come true for me because of a lot of work I did back home following the murder of George Floyd in Minneapolis around youth advocacy and activism, and making sure that youth were in rooms where we historically had been absent, and that our voice was not only in the streets but was in policy level conversations. And to be able to receive the Truman Scholarship that recognizes not only that work but the potential to continue that work when football is done, I think was truly a dream come true, to be around other like-minded individuals who also view giving back and pursuing careers in public service as an obligation, not only a privilege.
Now, we're an Eagles podcast. Have the Eagles shown any interest in your game?
I haven't interviewed with them yet this week, but I guarantee you it'll be coming up. And granted, I'm a huge fan of the Eagles, and obviously, now in the Super Bowl next week, and obviously the two tackles that they have are two people that I admire and try to model my game after.
If you're going to name some names, what are other players that you do model your game after? I know Jordan Mailata, Lane Johnson are two good guys, but any other players that come to your mind?
Yeah, obviously those two are two of the best right now. But growing up, was a huge fan of Tyron Smith. Believe that he was one of the smoothest, most efficient blockers, especially at his size and his strength. And obviously watching guys like Trent Williams, one of the best to ever do it. And especially at one of the smaller tackles in the league, who's not 6'8", 6'9", but more 6'4", 6'5", and still finds a way to, impose his will every single play, no matter who is across from him. And those are things I admire and, definitely keep track of it.
Let's talk about some of the prospects here. Who's been the toughest prospect that you've been up against the last couple of days?
Yeah, I don't know, and this is a hard question because I do believe that there's talent across the board here, and as someone who's coming in here just wanting to compete, I've certainly got that opportunity, especially with some of the guys that we have here, whether it's in one-on-one pass pro or team run. Every single look I'm getting is from a different guy, and every single guy brings a different move or different skill set to the table that I've had to adjust to on the fly and just learn to compete, especially through every down.
Now, before we get out of here, just what you bring to the table. If you're talking to an NFL GM, what does Jalen Travis bring to the table?
Yeah, I think obviously all my off the field stuff I think speaks for itself, but especially on the field, my length, my size, my athleticism, to get out there and block wide nines, longer wide nines, especially that we're going to find in the league, who have 4.4, 4.3 speed. And ultimately, I believe I have the talent and what it takes to do that, but also be as mean as it comes in the run game, and impose my will down in and down out. That I believe is hard to find, especially for tackles my size.
Thanks, man.
Yes, sir.